Oh, furball, quick cough from Diana there as we got going. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whenever you're watching on the World Wide Web. Chris, what's your story? Grimes is me. Welcome to a very, very exciting episode of the Good Listening To Show, Stories of Distinction and Genius. This is I'd like to describe angelic Diana Esther Berschader, who's here to do a founder story. And if I may say, Diana, in researching you and in our conversations until this point, you are possibly, and this is a complete compliment, the most overtly spiritual guest that I think I've ever had in the show, because you've got a very powerful and profound philosophy, conceit, and signature program, which is all shaped around something called the diamond within. And this is about the idea or the notion of a life seismically formed and forged on pressure and trauma that's actually been polishing you like a diamond all along. So I'm intrigued to find out all about the diamond within. And at the very end, there'll be a really overt show us your QR code section to be able to point people to exactly where we can find your The Diamond Within signature program. But Diana Esther Berschader, very, very welcome to the Good Listening To show.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here and very honored. Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
You're very welcome. So if somebody doesn't have a frame of reference for you and they're seeing you for the first time, what's your best way of, I suppose, either avoiding or answering the question, hello, what do you do then? So how do you normally describe the cut and thrust of what you're up to, but also what the diamond within unveils for us all?
First of all, I want to say that the diamond within, it's something we all have. And it's not a metaphor. It's a true diamond that was inserted into each and every one's soul at the moment of creation. We simply forgotten about it. And we don't know nothing about it. And we go through life as if everything is normal and as if everything is real. Going through challenges, going through unknowingness where the life will take us, feeling disconnected from the most powerful piece we all have within us. Diamond Within was born at the time of a very big challenges in my life. I was under lockdown for 2 years, helping my ill parents in Australia. And looking at my life and what's happening in the world, the strong idea came into my mind to create a program that will help people to raise their consciousness and to connect to the power within us, within them. And it's not just metaphoric power, it's a true power on every level, meaning that you have a guiding light that virtually covered by many layers of our so-called ego personality. And that's why it is dimmed and it's so deeply covered with all the layers that we don't even remember that we ever had it.
And to your story, when I first connected with you, you access this also through the story of invoking early childhood disappointment and sort of dream shattering, as you described it. You, in your video, your sort of landing page video within the diamond within, there's an extraordinary graphic of a heart shattering on the floor, and it is quite sort of crystal in effect. So of course diamonds which don't shatter so easily. So I love the fact that you're almost going back to a sort of DNA factory default sort of carbon resetting that within all of us is innate goodness, and there is this diamond within, if I understand the construct correctly.
Yes, it's absolutely correct. And I will take you back in time when it's all begun. I was born at the former Soviet Union at the time of darkness, Cold War, and gray reality of life. As a child, I was exceptionally sensitive, seeking love and connection, but instead feeling lonely, misunderstood, and unsupported. Not because I didn't have a loving parents, but because the way of life did not allow them to give enough life and love and time to me, as most of the parents during those days. So I felt that the only joy that I could ever find was with music. And as a small child, I would stand in front of the mirror for hours, moving my body under the magical sounds of music and being taken and transformed into a dreamland where one day I would become a prima ballerina. That was my deep soul dream. And obviously, I approached my parents and mentioned them that my biggest dream is to become a ballerina, and I would love to go and learn ballet. And instead, I was told absolutely not. This isn't a life for a nice Jewish girl, and just forget about it. You will never become a dancer, let alone a prima ballerina. And in that moment, something broke inside of me. Something virtually felt like dying. And short while afterwards, I was transported into the hospital with excruciating stomachache. At the time of Soviet Union, parents were not allowed to stay with children at the hospital. So I was all alone, hugging my little body that was in so much pain and felt completely lonely and completely like a piece of pebble that was covered in dirt, forgotten and buried. Because we didn't have at the time of Soviet Union any painkillers readily available, and it took 2 days for the doctors to diagnose my condition, coming back and saying that I have an inflammation of chronic inflammation of liver and gallbladder that was unheard of for the child of my age. And they had no readily available any remedies, but holistic treatment that was quite barbaric. And it's even hard to talk about it. I would end up in hospital maybe 5, 7 times per year for as long as I remember myself. So that night in the hospital, I felt like I could not bear the pain anymore. And I felt my body was giving up and becoming ice cold. And in that moment, I've heard a whisper for within for the first time, telling me, don't be scared. You're not going to die. Everything will be fine. And in that moment, I felt the heat wave rising from within, bringing me back to life. I did not know whose voice was it. Did I made it up? But I felt such deep trust to the voice within that it helped me many times over during all the challenges of my life. It was my connection with my diamond within without me even knowing. But something within my being somehow recognized that voice within and trusted with its life.
And this voice has reoccurred, by reading between the lines, in your timeline of your life, so that it's something that's there as you say, the diamond within, but it's an external entity to you. So you believe it's a religious intervention. What's your belief system around it?
No, first of all, I'm not religious. And being born in Soviet Union, meaning you know nothing about God, spirituality, or religious beliefs. You simply don't have them. You don't study them. They were not allowed. And people that practiced any kind of spirituality or religion would end up in prison. So we had no information, books, or anyone to talk to about it. It was if I can describe it, it was not an outside voice. It was voice within me that felt like someone who knows me deeply.
So it's like
Someone,
the power within is your diamond within. So it's very much
yes,
an internal
it's
survival strategy.
it's very much it I would not call it a strategy. I would call it a guiding light. I would call it something that knows you better than you know yourself. Something that feels like friend that loves you unconditionally, and something that guiding you through life at the most important moments when you feel lost, when you don't know which next step to take, and what to do, because people normally don't trust themselves, and they usually go to professionals. It's either doctor if you have some illness or health issue, or you go to counselors, or you go to anybody who you think know better about yourself than you, because we are totally disconnected from our inner guidance and from our inner self. And it's not because we are not clever or we are not um, understanding. We simply never learn anything about it. We simply been conditioned to think that life is happening to us, and everything that we can only trust, think that we can touch, see, and smell. Nobody teaches how to feel. Life teaches how to think, how to structure, how to be goal oriented, but nobody teaches how to feel. And feelings is a language of the soul. And soul is the reason why we all here.
Oh, we've just the stream suddenly disappeared there.
Yes, yes, it is. It
Oh,
is.
you're back in.
Yes, I'm back in.
That's good. So we can also edit out the glitch of that. So yes,
Okay.
and I've heard it framed as body heal thyself before. This idea of self awareness being the
Mhm.
holy grail, as the expression has it. But you've already said
Yes.
it's not a religious belief. I've also heard the notion of an inner genius, the version of us that's in flow, that knows exactly what to do. So there's something about the power of self, which is part of your, I suppose, healing philosophy.
It's not just my philosophy, it's a universal philosophy. And as as I grew older and I went through many challenges of my life, especially the time when I was diagnosed with lymphatic cancer. It was a moment that came to me as a big surprise. At the time, I used to live in Germany, and I had a child who was 4 years old. And my husband and I were building life together. We just opened business and was taking responsibility for our lives. And uh, we've been very passionate about building life together and creating our dreams and working virtually 7 days a week. And one day, I felt no longer well. I had no clue what's happening. First, I wanted to shrug it off and say, but it's fine, it's okay, as we normally do. We don't take notice of symptoms or signals that body gives us. And then as the time went by, I was kept on feeling not well. I went to see various practitioners, and for 2 years, I was not diagnosed. I had no clue what's happening with me, and every medical test that I did would come back as inconclusive. I personally never heard anything like it, including biopsies. Blood tests, biopsies would come back as inconclusive. That was back in 90s. The technology most probably wasn't as advanced as today in every possible way. But regardless what happened, it never crossed my mind that my condition could be so dangerous and so severe. And when it finally came to me, it came as a surprise. And it took me not only by surprise, but it covered me with emotional tsunami.
An
I,
emotional tsunami, did you say?
yes, I
Yeah.
just felt, yes, I was covered with emotional tsunami. I was frozen. I did not know what to do. And I did not know why it's happening to me.
And when you said frozen, previously you said that this warmth from within, the diamond from within, I suppose, intervened in however it manifested for you then. Did it do it again?
It felt like chills because when something like this happens, it gives you a kind of indication that your body is telling you that whatever you feel and you think, it's important. Take notice of it.
So almost
And
like the vocabulary and the currency of one's own energy and being deeply attuned to it. So it's life force
exactly.
energy. Um, if I may, I just want to make sure that we know about the structure that we're following for those that are listening. You're beautifully already going into the storyscape of what shaped you. So this is a show in which it's all going to take place momentarily, as you're doing anyway, but it's going to be in a clearing or serious happy place of your choosing. Is everything all right, Joe? With it glitched on the screen
No,
there. It's all good. Yes, so it all takes place energetically in a clearing or serious happy place of my guest choosing. And then once you've told me where your clearing is, we're then going to do a lovely, juicy storytelling exercise that I think you've already done quite a few components of already, which is 5 minutes to have thought about 4 things that have shaped you, 3 things that inspire you, 2 things that never fail to grab your attention, and then the one is a quirky or unusual fact about you we couldn't possibly know about you until you tell us. I know we're really on the open road of defining the philosophy and the way of being to do with the diamond within. So I just wanted to make sure that we're following that structure for the listener's point of view as well.
okay, of
So
course.
let's just go back a step. So in everything that in all the adversity you have overcome to get to this point with now your what's pulling towards your future is the diamond within, which is what you're really here to sort of chime with us about. Where would you say a clearing is? You've overcome a lot of adversity, that's clear, but where would you say your clearing or your serious happy place is, Diana Esther Berschader?
First of all, my happiest place is within my heart. The moment I connect to my heart, I feel at home. I feel calm and I feel serene because heart is not just a physical heart. We have a so-called sacred heart, which is a spiritual heart, which is the portal to wisdom and knowledge beyond our human understanding.
And for you, is that the diamond as well? It's the one and the same thing. It's the diamond within is the connection to a soulful heart.
Definitely. The diamond within is, if you can imagine a real diamond that was just a piece of carbon who went through a time of transformation by choice, because not every piece of carbon becomes a diamond. Diamond has a choice, the same thing as us. We have free will and choice to choose everything we want to become in life. We can refuse, we can go through challenges, we can accept. We have free will and free choice to do things we want. And it's all to do with where our consciousness right now at this moment. And consciousness, it's not just a very powerful word, but if I can explain simply, consciousness is everything you think, you feel, you do on a daily basis. The way you are, it's the way you are right now at the point of your consciousness. And we're all different because most of the time people don't do things the way they should because they're simply unaware of them. And
And
the
is it,
reason,
and may I ask, is it an idea or a notion or a way of being that everybody gets when you talk to them? Or does it take some convincing often? And I understand what you're saying, but I wonder how many people immediately get it and just immediately decide to work with you.
Look, not everybody get it, and you can't force the process because everyone is at certain level of the process of their conscious development. We all at a different level. We all came here with a different purpose. And you can't force development. You can't make apple to be ripe at your will. It will take time. So everyone have its own time to be ripe and to understand and to come up to a point of awareness that we are all connected and we are not just a human on the spiritual journey, but contrary, we are spirit on the human journey. And that creates a huge change.
So
Because if
it's a spiritual notion, not a religious one. You're very clear to define.
yes,
And
yes, it has nothing to do with religion.
yeah,
Spirituality existed millennia before the religion came into existence. Everything comes from the seed of spiritual knowledge and divine creation before it was explained and kind of framed into religious beliefs. And that's why there is no one religion, and every religion is trying to proclaim that they're God better than God of another religion. So I'm looking at life as as we are the spiritual being coming here to planet Earth to experience and evolve other souls. We come here purely for experience. Life is experience, and I tell you, it's very easy to understand because we come with nothing and we leave with nothing. It should be some other reason in between why we all born. And as far as I've been told by the high intelligence within me, that everyone came at the different level of consciousness and awareness. It's like at this moment of time, you can be so many years old, but at this time you have children, you have elderly people, you have people at all different ways of consciousness, understanding, and adversity and colors and shape. We all unique and special, and we all have here our own soul purpose. But most of the people, because they're disconnected, they know simply nothing about it, and it doesn't help through life. It's like walking through life being blindfolded. And that's why we hit many challenges and we don't know how to heal and how to go through those challenges because we never learned that all the power and all the answers are already within us. It just a matter to connect to your power within, to connect to your soul purpose, to understand who you truly are, and to develop this connection, because this is the most important connection. If you're disconnected, you're going to be disconnected in many relationships. It can be your parents, your children, your siblings, husbands, friends. That the problem of relationships, because every relationships begin with relationship for yourself.
and is the idea to form a community or a movement, or as the soul spirit guide that you represent in what it is you're trying to uh, instruct us on today? So,
Uh,
what's the main aim of the diamond within?
I decided at some point of time to inspire women at midlife. I felt that a lot of us in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s feel already done. We are no longer useful. We've got nothing to look forward to, and our dreams were put at hold. And I believe that life is not about just living, getting old, and dying. Life is about evolution of the soul and living your purpose, regardless of your age. Because when people come to a point of midlife, it's usually a point of deep realizations. We have more time for ourselves. And if we can have this kind of connection, we can have a roadmap of how to live the rest of our life with meaning, joy, and happiness, and contributing to the society with our wisdom and knowledge that we have learned, because the future generation is not going to go through what we went through, and they can learn from us. Otherwise, they would be completely lost. As I feel right now, a lot of young people simply lost. They don't know how to communicate with others and with themselves. They don't understand what future holds for them. They feel lonely and disconnected. And if we are empowered as women, and if we can bring our gifts and our knowledge and wisdom into the world and connect with the younger generation on a way as friends and teachers and helpers, it will change this planet. This is my vision.
And you position it as being a global educational platform. And as you say in researching you, for emotionally sensitive professional women searching for clarity and balance to achieve a fulfilled, enriched life of ease and grace. So back to, we're going to point people to exactly where we can find out even more about this at the end. But if we can find out about, obviously you've crafted this way of being through early stories of adversity, which polished your diamond, as you say. What three things would you like to say have inspired you in your life path to get to this point?
Courage, curiosity, the desire to grow. I think everything in life begins with desire. And if you look at life as just a process, it's not exciting. But life is a mystery. To me, life is a mystery. When I wake up each morning, I feel like a child that knows nothing, and I want to know everything, because there is so much to know about life, not only from books or podcasts or films. There is an infinite knowledge, an infinite well of wisdom within us, if we only allow this wisdom to come through us. And being silent enough at points where we are away from busyness of life and total chaos and total noise, if we come to a point, even 5 times, even few times a day, just for a few minutes, and I will show you a little exercise that will help most of the people, that helps me daily. If we can connect to this precious diamond within that everyone have, asking, simply asking for guidance, and letting this guidance to begin the communication with you, your life will change dramatically. Life will not be run by fear. Instead, it will become a mystery, a surprise, and amazing miracles, synchronicities, and revelations that will begin coming into your life on a daily basis.
And may I ask how you then make it accessible to people? So those that are listening, watching, okay, I understand what's being said, but now how do we reveal, or how do we find, if we're searching for it, how do we actually get to the point where we can tune into the diamond within?
In order to discover the diamond within is the process. If you can imagine an onion, I always bring this analogy. If you can imagine, onion has many, many layers. And the moment you begin to peel the onion, you cry. We are like an onion. We have so many layers of darkness that covering out the diamond within. that we simply even don't have a clue that we have it. So this is a process of uncovering whatever is blocking your inner light in order to, first of all, find it within you. And then the moment you connect to it, you will be able to follow life, which is no longer demands from you to push and to pull and to strive and to try to do something. Life will become like a beautiful dance. Life will become like a beautiful flow, because whatever we're trying to do unconsciously and robotically, it's actually blocking us even more from this inner light and making our life more difficult. And very often we feel lost and we feel we don't know who to go, what to ask. And human personality is limited, where your soul is limitless and infinite, and it actually never dies. Whether you
And
believe in it or not, it doesn't make any difference.
right.
But the moment you begin to tell yourself a different story, you start a new process. You begin, it's like you're born again. It's like you allow yourself to shed everything that it no longer belongs to you and to start from fresh, because every day we wake up, it's like being born again. Every
And so,
time,
and
sorry.
do you position yourself, therefore, as a sort of spiritual leader to try and reveal the diamond within to anybody who wants to tune into it?
During the lockdown, I wrote 2 books.
Yeah.
Uh, the first one became a bestseller in Australia, where I was there, and I created an online program because I was thinking, how
Was
can
the book
I?
called The Diamond Within? Sorry to interrupt you. Was
Yeah, the book called The Diamond Within,
yeah.
from rough to polished to flawless, because life is a mystery, life is a game, and life polishing us through challenges, through process, exactly the same way as diamond does. And the reason why I call this the diamond within, because for people it's so much easier to understand, because they can see physical diamond. They can understand that physical diamond went through the process of transformation by choice. That's why the pure diamonds, the top grade diamonds are so rare and so expensive, because it takes billions of years for the diamond to grow and to be resilient regardless of the high temperature and the conditions it grows in. The
And
same thing.
and when I listen to you, it sounds like a really profound metaphor analogy. But you've said at the beginning, this isn't a metaphor. It's not an analogy. It's an actual thing. But I'm still I'm super objectively sort of bearing
Okay.
witness to what it is you're philosophically laying out, and it sounds like it's just a really good, clear metaphor and an analogy to tap into one's own spirituality through the lens of body heal thyself. Does that sound like a fair summary?
Um, the diamond within, it's not a metaphor, but it's a matter of belief. There is everything to do with spirituality you cannot physically touch. And in many religious books, especially in Bible, it always say you have to believe it before you see it.
So faith,
But
yes,
you have to have a faith, yes. You
yeah,
have to have a faith. And I would say hope is the rope of faith.
yeah.
When people have desire to change their life, because without desire, nothing will happen. People can be skeptical because we learn how to logically analyze everything in life. We know how to use our mind, but our mind was not built for it. It was built to keep us safe. In ancient times, against lions and dinosaurs, mind doesn't let us to be unleashed. So if we stay in our minds, most of our life, our belief system only built on material existence. Show me, and then I will trust you. But we have to change our philosophy in order to experience something magical that we cannot see as material proof. And
And
it can.
you've had so much personal adversity that you began to describe. So you feel that that's where your polishing and purity of your own diamond has come from.
The diamond within me has been activated during the time of my trust. It happened to be that as a child, without knowing, most probably it was my inner remembrance, because children have this inner sense more than adults do, because as you grow older, you tend to develop so many layers and build so many walls that you no longer know who you are. You simply adopted somebody else's point of view and teachings. Your parents, society, schools, universities, everything we think we are, it's not who we are.
So
Because this
this
is.
sounds like it's the wrong layering up of the wrong type of onion, whereas you're trying to peel it back to childlike perception of one's DNA and where one has come from.
Something that was, because it was a moment of creation, and imagine that, I don't know how many millions of billions of years ago. It's not for me to decide, but it was a moment of creation where every soul was created, and it was a pure, perfect soul that had no limitation, that was meant to live forever and experience happiness and joy. And in my first book, The Diamond Within, I actually wrote the story about the creation, a different creation story, where, and one of my poems always also talk about it, where God, if God is a pure light, it can only experience light. It cannot experience anything else. And let's say God decides that he wants to experience more of himself. So in order to do it, he need a human vessel. He need a vessel that he can experience through it. So
And
imagine.
you're attaching religious ways of explaining to that him, he needs you. So there's God,
Okay,
like,
I would call it it in that case, because
yeah.
it's very hard to okay, it's very hard to not to find the right words for it. Let's say we call the creator, okay? The creator wanted to experience itself. And in order to experience more of himself, not just the light, he created, or she created, or it created a vessel, a human vessel.
So there is a
And
celestial entity involved in what you're describing as your way of being, because you're describing a celestial entity of some sort that created.
yes, some let's say the creator created something that can be physically experienced, goes through experience to in order for the creator to be one with this vessel, and to go through all the experiences that this vessel, or a human vessel, experiencing in. Let's say the diamond within is a present of spark of the divine within you, that actually lives every moment and every second as you are,
And
but you know nothing about it.
your biggest desire, as I understand it, is to curate this global educational platform for women. Is the expressed desire you have? Is that correct?
Yes, I want to empower women. I want to help them to revive and to come alive again as a strong force, because I think a lot of women during the midlife gave up on themselves and feel very often depressed and becoming ill and feel that they're powerless to do anything and to change anything, because that's how we have been conditioned. You're becoming old, you have to accept the reality, and the moment you accept anything, it becomes your reality. The moment doctors tell you you've got 2 months to live and you accept it, that's exactly how it's going to happen.
Yes. A
And I
self-fulfilling belief. Yes.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I have many stories, including how I helped my mother overcome cancer. She was given only 2 months to live. And she died many years later, and not from that particular cause. So I'm a great believer that our belief system shape us in who we become.
Yeah.
And by changing your beliefs and by opening your mind and your heart and by connecting your mind and your heart in harmonious symphony, you actually change your life in a way you can't even imagine. It's not about dogmas. It's not about religious teaching. It's about connection. Because the moment we connect to who we truly are, our life changes. Because we simply know ourselves from the point of our identity.
And may I ask, is it a movement? Is it a community? I mean, how many? I suppose I'm trying to avoid saying the word disciples, but how many followers of this philosophy are there?
I think there are many followers of this philosophy around the world. There are enough people have been awakening. I'm not saying that we're all connected, but it's interesting that whenever you are on your journey, on the mysterious journey of life, it always brings you the right people to connect with and to collaborate with in order to create changes in this world. Because the world, the way it is, I feel come to a point of no return. It needs to be reformed, and it needs to be upgraded, not only externally, because all the upgrade begins internally. And if person feels, who am I? I'm just nobody. I'm just one person against the whole world, 8.5 billion people. What can I do? You have no idea how much you can do, because without your diamond, the tapestry of life will never shine the same. Every diamond has its own role and has its own brilliance. And it's like in crown jewel, if you take one diamond out, it's empty, it's no longer the same, it's no longer perfect, it's no longer flawless.
Mhm.
The same thing with life. It depends on each and every one of us. And more people will connect to their true diamond within, to their true selves, and begin living not from the mind, but from the heart, feeling through life and not only thinking through life. The whole societies will change. The world will change. The government will change. Because it's not about trying to prove your point, who is right and who is wrong, because right and wrong, it's part of one. I always say you cannot change anyone if the person doesn't want to be changed. There is no point of trying to prove your point if this person disagrees with you and not on the same vibration and wavelength with you. Somebody is listening to Capital Radio, somebody is listening to jazz, and somebody listening to classical music. We're all different. And this diversity make us unique. So to me, it's all about acceptance and connection. If we can accept each other the way we are, and we can find the way to create one peaceful world through understanding that we're all different, not trying to change anybody, but to accept who we truly are, this world will become the world of love, unity, and light. And I'm a passionate believer in my belief system that it's gonna happen, and it's happening already.
And your passion is really, really clear, I have to say. And it's my absolute privilege to be able to help you through this storytelling platform to, I suppose, bear witness to what it is you want to tell the story of the diamond within about. So if people are interested in getting in touch with you about the sort of alchemy and the gold, if you like, in my sort of storytelling structure, let's do the show us your QR code section, please, Joe. So what we're going to be doing is looking at pointing us to, first of all, your the Diamond Within website. So would you just like to point people that are listening as well as those that are watching, just where can we go to find out much more about the philosophy and the I suppose the educational platform that you are attesting to?
I'm offering to anybody who wants to create changes in their life, to excel and to become more joyful and happy, and find your way through life with grace and ease, and to create something new. I always call it the gift of new life. If you want to give yourself a gift of new life, visit my website, thediamondwithin.co.uk, and arrange 1 hour free session. I call it Diamond Clarity Session with me, that will help you to understand where you are right now, what you can do in order to move forward, to change your life, to excel on every level. It has nothing to do with you can excel on every level in your life. And to see if they're a fit for each other, if we can connect on the heart level. And if we do, I will take you by the hand and I will lead you to the life of your dreams. And the online program will help you to peel all the layers that's standing between you and the life of your dreams.
And just to reincorporate the web address again, it is thediamondwithin.co.uk, you said, didn't you?
Yes.
Also, if you'd like to connect with Diana on LinkedIn, this is another sort of quick QR code. So one of the most important platforms for you, obviously, is LinkedIn. So this is how we can connect with you on LinkedIn as well. You also said that you wanted to read a poem today,
Yes.
The Power of Time. So this feels like this might be the right opportunity for you to position that and then read the poem to us.
Time is an illusion and old beliefs. Time cannot be locked in the prison of fears. Time gives you freedom to do what you want if you see it as a gift from the infinite world. Time travels in all directions of life and linked to beliefs you have inside. Time is an infinite field to create, living, breathing, and changing the canvas of fate. Time is the philosophy of the human mind, separating your thoughts from the thoughts of divine. Time is an illusion and game of life, spinning faster and faster, creating more light. When you stop for the moment and touching your heart, you connect to the source of the infinite love, coming home to yourself, to the moment of bliss, letting go of stress, inner worries, and fears. And that moment in time is all that is, will replenish, restore, and create inner peace. Time is magical bird that it's free to fly, but the mind built cages, illusions, and lies. You believe that you are running out of time to achieve all you want in this short human life, that your life is restricted by time and space, and the limiting thought keep you stuck in the cage. But the moment of truth give you freedom to fly. Just open your wings and feel free and alive, liberating your mind from old thoughts and beliefs by creating the river of infinite peace.
And did you write that yourself, Diana? Is
Yes,
that one of
yes,
yours?
yes.
And where can we find, is that the Power of Time from the Diamond within the original book that you wrote?
No, it's a second book that's called The Poetry of the Soul. The first one is a kind of roadmap to help you to understand yourself and connect to the diamond within. It's called From Rough to Polished to Flawless. And the second one is just a spiritual poems. And I always believe that universe speak to us in poetic language, and soul speak to us in language of love. So poetry, it's like a bridge between human and divine. And it's a beautiful, gentle feeling and reminder of everything we've forgotten about who we truly are on the inside. So I started to write poetry about 10 years ago, and it happened, people say, accidentally, but I don't believe in accidents in life. When you have gift in life, it will come out at the point when you need the most. And I'm grateful to my destiny to be able to express myself in that way, because it brings me tremendous amount of joy to write it, as tremendous kind of joy to bring it into the world in order to awaken people through this art, through this gift. And it's something that it's much more gentle than any kind of dogmatic studies or stories. It's a gentle way of awakening love within your heart and connecting you to the power within.
Beautifully put. Just a couple of announcements about the show, the Good Listening To show. If you'd like to have a conversation about guesting too, you can have a look at the website for the show, which is thegoodlisteningtoshow.com. You can connect with me, Chris Grimes, on LinkedIn too. Also, there's a very particularly profound series strand to the show, which is called Legacy Life Reflections, which is to record your story or the story of somebody precious to you for posterity, lest we forget before it's too late. So have a look at legacylifereflections.com as well. But back to you now, Diana Esther Berschader. As this has been your moment in the sunshine in the Good Listening To show, stories of distinction and genius, as we've had the privilege of bearing witness to your life philosophy, your life way of being, your purpose imperative of the diamond within, is there anything else you'd like to say?
I just wanted to say that if each and every one of you listening have a moment of connection every day, just maybe in the moment when you feel stressed, when you feel uncertain, when you feel lost, just touch your heart with your two hands, close your eyes, and visualize the golden light glowing within you and spreading through all your body and feeling every cell within you, healing, nurturing, loving, and helping you to expand and grow from within, connecting you to your higher consciousness. And it can be the moment of the biggest revelation you ever wanted to experience. And the reason why I'm saying to put hands on your heart, because it's create not only spiritual connection, but the physical connection. We are physical beings, and we can only relate most of the time to things that we can see and feel. And when you put hands on your heart, you're saying to your heart, I love you. I accept you. I understand you. You are the compass in my life, and you're my guiding light.
Thank you so much. I've been Chris Grimes, and that very profoundly, most importantly, is Diana Esther Berschader. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence here in the show. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Good night. We'll end the stream there.